All right, here we go. What happened to my PowerPoint? There it is. Excuse me. Just don't mind me. Okay. There we go. All right. What's that? There we go. Okay. I want to welcome you all to today's class. I'm excited to dive into essential oil basics today. And I want to kind of talk around how you can reinvent your healthcare with one oil at a time. And I want to tell you also, when we get started, about why that's so important to me, why it's such a big passion of mine. So let's talk about that. A little bit about me. My name is Carrie Pooty. Again, I'm very happy to be with you today, and I want to tell you a little bit about how I ended up here with you. Okay, so first off, I'm a Christian. That I'm here should have. That is top priority. That's really how I got started with this. God brought these into my life. I'm a wife and a mom of two young kids, 7 and 4, and that is really the reason that I got started with this, and I'll go into that in a minute. Like many of you probably, I'm a pharmacist, so reinventing healthcare is something that is very important to me, and something that I didn't really realize was such a big passion of mine until I brought these tools into my home. And so now I am a wellness advocate for that, just that, changing. I believe also that healthcare in a whole sense, changes when we start taking care of ourselves differently in our own home, right? That's where it all starts. And so that's why I'm really passionate about helping mainly moms, women that just, we control a lot of the things that go on in our home, right? And so that's why I'm very passionate about helping women really invest in themselves and take care of themselves differently, because I know they're going to take that out to everybody else in their circles and in their home. So a little bit about how I got started with this. So I mentioned that I have 2 kids, and you know, as a pharmacist, I really never like to take much medication. Of course, I respect the medical model, and I'm so glad that it's there and that we have those things offered to us, yet I just wasn't very happy with what I was being kind of recommended with my daughter. Things would come up, just common colds and things like that. I really wanted to do things more preventatively, but yet I wasn't really sure how to do that. And so I was kind of just searching. I live in a pretty small town in Georgia, and so there was no classes about essential oils. I really was not, I didn't hear anybody else talking about them. And so I took it in my own hands and went online and just started researching. And so I found someone that introduced me to them, and I knew right away I wanted to get started and just get them into my home. And so that's what I did. I was my own guinea pig. I never went to a class before I got started. So you don't have to know everything. You can totally figure it out on your own. I just dove into the books and really started using things on myself and my family, and quickly realized this is exactly what I was looking for. And it was an excellent way for me to do just what I wanted to, right? Change over the things in my house, make my house a little bit more non-toxic, maybe just be more preventative in the way that we thought about our health care. And so essential oils were all that for me, and I wanted to take that out to everybody else. I was just very passionate about, especially as a pharmacist, I saw people that were coming in for medications that I knew could probably be decreased or eliminated if they were to just take care of themselves in a different and better way. And so that's why I started teaching classes, and that's why I still teach classes and will probably always teach classes, is because I really do feel like it's the information piece and the integration piece that is missing a lot of times. And so that's why I'm here today, to help you learn a little bit more about just the basics of essential oils and how you can incorporate them into your life. So let's dive in. So today, I hope to encourage you, empower you, enable you, and really just engage you in what essential oils can do if you just know a few basic things about them and how to integrate them into your everyday life. So first off, what are essential oils? Essential oils are what's called a lifeblood of a plant. And so that is one thing that I absolutely loved about essential oils, is that they were from nature. It was things God put on this earth for us to use to take care of ourselves. It was just one more way to me that he gave us everything that we need, and I love that. And so when we think about what essential oils are, and that they're the lifeblood of the plant, you know, how are they different than herbs? Because I was pretty familiar with herbs as far as just I'd always seen them in the pharmacy, OTC. And so I just, I think we're more familiar with that. But essential oils are actually called the lifeblood of the plant because an herb is the entire plant powdered down. But when you think about the lifeblood of the plant, it's much more concentrated than an herb. Essential oils are. They're about 50 to 70 times stronger than an herb. And so that's why we see such an immediate effect when we use essential oils, and they can affect our whole body within a couple of minutes. So they are extracts from plants. So I wanted to show you this picture. It's a zoomed in picture of a peppermint leaf. And so this peppermint leaf has little oil sacs on the outside of it. And this, if you've ever rubbed a peppermint leaf in between your fingers, you can smell that. That is because you're releasing the essential oil. And so what they do is they take plant material, such as this peppermint, they put it in a large steam bath, and that releases the essential oils, and that's what we can use for ourselves and our daily health care and just all kinds of different things in our home. So let's talk about peppermint. We were just talking about the peppermint leaf and how essential oils kind of are extracted from that. So what about peppermint? Peppermint is awesome for lots of different things. So I'm going to give you just a few things that I love to use it for most probably. I love to use it as more of like an energizer, kind of a stimulant. In the morning, it's awesome to put a drop of peppermint. I'm going to kind of demonstrate if you can see me. You just put one drop in your palm, and all you need is one drop, and we'll get to that in just a minute, why you only need that little amount. But put a drop in your palm, rub them together, and then cup over your nose and mouth and inhale really deep. I mean, that is like the best little shot of energy that you could ever hope to get. Rub it on the back of your neck, rub it kind of around your hairline, on your temples. I mean, in a minute, you're just going to feel just tingly and just revitalized. It actually brings oxygen to your cells. That's the way that it works. And so it's going to be great for just turning on your mind, mental clarity. It's great for that. It also is awesome for decreasing body temperature. And so it's going to be really great if it's just hot outside. You could do the same thing I just did, put it on the back of your neck. It's going to decrease your body temperature that way. If you happen to have elevated body temperature because of some sort of illness or something like that, it's going to be a great way for your body to help kind of fight that off and really help it cope through that, because fevers are actually good for us. And so it's going to help keep that at a good level for our body, but still allow our body to do what it's trying to do. So I love to use it. Mainly on my kids, but I know sometimes as adults we have fevers, and it's a great thing to use for that as well. Okay, so let's talk just a minute about oils versus pharmaceuticals. And this is an interesting thing, and it comes up a lot with me just because I am a pharmacist and people want to know my opinion on this. And so I want you today to realize that it's not really oils versus pharmaceuticals. It can be both. And, depending on what your situation is, it should be both, because the thing is, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. And I think sometimes we get that in our mind, and we can't realize that they can actually work together very well. Essential oils help our body work better. It doesn't matter what essential oil you're using, it's going to help try to bring your body back to balance. And so if you're using essential oil and you're also taking some type of pharmaceutical, it's actually going to help that medication work better because it helps your body function better. And so there's actually going to be very little interaction as well. And so you can lots of times use these safely together and just enhance what is already going on in your body. And if you want, to use less medication, or you want to wean off, obviously talk to your doctor about that and someone that can help you do that. But this can be a great way to help support your body through that and really maintain a healthier lifestyle overall afterwards, right? And this is something that is, it's something we should look at, because the thing is, as a country and overall, and just in the medical model, it is pretty broken, because really the medical model should be 80% self-care and just preventative types of things, and then 20% medication and modern medicine, I would say. But we've actually flipped that. And that is why the system is so overloaded. It's because we're not taking care of ourselves, and we're just relying too heavily on that. So, that's why you might see that the disease levels increase, and you might think, gosh, the medical model is broken. And it is, it truly is. But yet I find that this is one of the best tools to really flip that back around, and that the modern medicine has its place, and essential oils and other lifestyle type of things can really help us to do what our bodies are trying to do anyway, right? It can help facilitate that. Okay, so let's talk about side effects. Like, why would you not want to maybe take as much medication and the pharmaceutical? So, when it's just everywhere now. There's commercials about the side effects. You can read all the side effects, and they're insane. And so we're really one big human experiment. I think we're starting to realize that some of the side effects, they're just more than we ever could have known when maybe the drug first came out, or we've seen over time this is what's happened. So we really don't know all of the side effects that could be from a certain medication. And so I think it's definitely a good thing to just look more into how can I support my body in a more natural way. I think so many more people are starting to realize that it's definitely something that they need to look into, and it's something that is worth investing in, because like I said, it doesn't have to be one or the other, but yet everybody wants to decrease side effects. I don't think anybody wants to sign up for more side effects. So I think that it's something to look at and see how can we lessen this, and how can we do things in more of a better way, in thinking about getting to the root cause versus just masking, because that's what medications tend to do, is just mask whatever is going on. So getting to the root cause means giving your body what it needs. And so that is exactly what essential oils do, amongst other things that we do in our lifestyle, like exercise and diet. All of those things are getting to the root cause and to really allow our body to heal versus putting a Band-Aid. So let's talk about how essential oils work in your body. This is really specific, and just we're going to talk about how essential oils can penetrate the cell membrane, but in a whole sense, essential oils work in your body. As we're going to talk about 3 different ways that you can use them. No matter what way you use them, they're going to get absorbed and work in your bloodstream, and they're going to affect your body on a cellular level. And that is how they can affect your whole body very quickly, within a couple of minutes, like nothing else honestly can. Food can't affect your body that quickly because it's not concentrated enough. The only thing that's concentrated enough and that is pure for nature is essential oils. And so that's why they're so effective, and that's how you can create a whole body just a change in the way that you feel very quickly. And so one part of that is that because essential oils can work within the cell. And just speaking about this, as far as how it can kill virus and bacteria, a bacteria lives on the outside of your cell. A virus lives on the inside. And so most medications can't penetrate the cell membrane. Lots of things can't penetrate the cell membrane. And so essential oils can. So this is one way that's great to support our body in killing virus and bacteria, and really helping support, when we come in contact with something, or when our body comes infected with something. So let's talk about, kind of a comparison, because I know a lot of people are like, I'm not really sure about, how this kind of looks. And essential oils are an investment, right? They're an investment in your health, but they're actually an investment that can save you a lot of money. So just in comparing an earache and just ear pain with using a natural solution and going to the doctor. And, it was interesting that we really, as a whole, our kids are very healthy. And that's not exactly why, it wasn't like we were running to the doctor all the time. That's why I got kind of more interested in essential oils. It was really just because I wanted to improve our quality of life. But yet recently I had to go to the doctor with my daughter for something. It wasn't an earache, but yet I felt all this just empathy for people that do have to go to the doctor all the time. I mean, it was just time and more money and just all of these things that I'm not used to, because we do things so preventatively and very rarely have to go to the doctor. So I'm definitely like, wow, this would save you lots of time and lots of money. You see the comparison here, just in this instance with kind of helping your body supported through an earache. It's just putting some Melaleuca right behind the bone on your ear, and maybe on the outside of the earlobe. 3 times a day, 2 drops, 2 drops. It's going to be like 48 cents versus lots of other copays and visits, and it's probably might even be more than what we have on here. So it's really interesting when you look at it this way, that can be a very cost-saving alternative. Okay, so let's go into talking about lavender. So lavender, and I encourage you, if you have your oils, to pull them out. If you don't, I really wish you could smell this. So lavender is just an amazing oil. You know, it might seem like, yeah, I've heard of lavender and it's calming and it's great for that, but it really has so many different constituents, we call them, and that just really means ways that it can work. I mean, hundreds of different ways that you could use this. And so that's why they call this the Swiss Army knife of oils. I just want to give you a few things on each oil that we're going to talk about, because it can be just, there's so many. So I want you to think about calming in a way of calming your nervous system. So it's really great for calming stress, anxious feelings during the day, and then calming your nervous system at night to help you get a restful night's sleep. It's also going to be great for calming your skin. So if you have some sort of like itchiness to your skin, you have like a rash or a bug bite, lavender is going to be your go-to for that. If you have like a burn, maybe you burnt yourself on the stove, or you've been outside too much and you got too much sun, it's going to be great for that. And let me tell you, I was at the beach last summer, I think it was, and I got really burnt, and I only covered one arm in lavender and some lotion, and I forgot the other arm, and I just created an experiment for myself because I was feeling it the next day. I could tell a huge difference. So this is going to be really great for this summer, especially when you might have gotten too much sun. Add a couple drops of some lotion or coconut oil and rub all over wherever you're burnt, and it's going to help, I promise. Okay, so why doTERRA? This is something that I feel is coming up more and more and more, because there are so many other essential oil companies on the market. Because doTERRA has really created that. We're the largest essential oil company, but it didn't used to be like that, right? But in general, there's no standard. So now that it's becoming more popular, people want to cash in on that. That's why you're starting to see so many essential oil companies pop up, and everywhere you go, you're starting to see them. So why doTERRA? Why does it even matter what brand you get? So in speaking about that, there's no standard in the essential industry, doTERRA created their own standard. And that just means they're going to go by specific guidelines to ensure that this oil is the purest that it can be. So that means CPTG is the stamp that you're going to see on all doTERRA products. And that just stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And that means they're tested and they're trusted, because they go through like 54 different tests to ensure that that oil, there's only essential oil in there, and that it's up to the standard, the highest standard possible. And so that really does mean starting with the best plants. And so we're going to talk about that in a minute. But first, let's talk about grades of essential oils. So there's 4 different grades. There's synthetic, that's perfume. You definitely want to stay away from that. That's not going to do any good, but it's going to do harm to your body. There's also food grade, and this means just something like cinnamon flavored gum or lemon in a salad dressing. And then there's therapeutic grade. And this is the grade that you're probably going to see more so at like the health food store. But yet again, there's no standard on this. So there could be 100% pure on that label and all these fancy terms, and there's only 1 drop of essential oil in there, and it's not very high quality in that. So there's not much benefit to that, and there can actually be some side effects from that. Like, I know, you know, in your mind you're trying to do better by getting essential oils, but yet you're bringing in more chemicals to your home. So it's something that's kind of sad that that goes on, but it does. And so that's why doTERRA created the CPTG. So in speaking about sourcing, it really matters what you start with, because I mentioned that, you know, 1 drop of essential oil, if, what happened to that slide? I thought there was a slide that said 1 drop of peppermint equals 28 cups of peppermint tea. I guess I must have skipped that, I'm sorry. But yet they're so potent. And it really does matter what you start with. What is a raw plant material that you start with? It's going to create a much different product in the end. And so we know that whatever grows in the wild with no help from fertilizers or anything like that, it's going to be a much high quality plant. And so that's what doTERRA did. They went on a mission to source the oils from where they grow indigenously so they can get the highest quality plants. And so they source from over 40 countries, which really is what sets them apart. That and the testing. You know, every time you get a bottle of lavender or peppermint or whatever, you can ensure that it's the highest quality, and you can ensure that it's the exact same as it was before, right? It's just, it's so important to think about when you're using these for your health and yourself and that of your family. So third-party testing, there's a lot of big words, and one of them's hidden behind that picture right there. Sorry about that. But if you just are an investigator and you want to know all the tests that they do, you can definitely go look that up. And I'm not going to go through all these, but it's important to know that they do third-party testing. That means these results can't be skewed. And so that's just one more step that they take that costs them, honestly, more money, because they want to make sure that what they bring to you is the best possible. So let's talk about frankincense. Frankincense, it's called the king of oils because it really is good for almost everything. It's the oil that has the highest anti-inflammatory components to it as well. And it has a great, just woodsy grounding scent. It's super grounding. A couple of things about frankincense: it passes the blood-brain barrier, and that means that it can affect lots of things going on neurologically. And that just means, depression and Alzheimer's and different neurological things, seizures even. It can be really helpful with that. It's super anti-inflammatory, like I mentioned, and so it's just going to decrease overall body inflammation, which is really the start of all disease. So it's going to help with overall health. And so that's why a lot of people love to take frankincense and put a drop up under their tongue for just everyday health reasons. And we'll talk a little bit more in just a few minutes about how you can use all of these oils in 3 different ways. So we'll get to that right now. So 3 different ways you can use essential oils: aromatic, topical, and internal. Let's break these down. So aromatic. Aromatic is going to just be putting them into the air. And so I mentioned with the peppermint, you can just put 1 drop in your palm, rub together, and just inhale really deeply. That is going to be a great fast way that you can use oils aromatically. If you don't have a diffuser, or if you're out and about, or if you just want, like I said, like a quick hit of oils, that's going to be a great thing for you to do. If you have a diffuser, that is an awesome way to get essential oils in the air around you. And it actually creates a steady stream of oils versus when you put them in your hand, it's just going to give you that quick kind of rush. So this is a diffuser, and it's really, really easy to use. It's probably one of the easiest and fastest ways that you can use essential oils. So you're going to fill up the diffuser with water, and this one has a fill line. It's that red dot. Whatever yours is, you want to fill it to the fill line, and then just put about 5 to 6 drops of essential oil in there. You don't need that much. You might even only need 4, right? It just depends on the oil, but put that on. Put that in, turn it on, and it's going to create a fine mist in the air. And that's going to do lots of different things. When you breathe in an essential oil, it's actually going to affect your limbic system. And that's what can help regulate your mood and your emotions, even your heart rate and your blood pressure. So there's lots of things that are going on when you inhale something. And when it's a pure plant oil, such as this, it's going to create a lot of physiological effects in your body. There's lots of side benefits. Not only does it smell great, there's lots of other things that are going on. It can also help kill germs in the air. Something like On Guard is going to be great to diffuse because it can help capture the germs and kill them in the air. And it's going to help your respiratory system. It helps open up your airway passages. And it just smells good. And we all want our home to smell good, right? And so we used to do that with candles and plug-ins, but now we know those are not good for us. They actually clog up our body, and there's negative benefits to that. Not negative benefits, there's side effects to that. And so when putting a diffuser in your home, you're going to get a lot of side benefits, not side effects for that. Okay, so let's talk about Breathe, because Breathe is a great oil to actually use aromatically. And I want to kind of go over how you know if you can use an oil and which way, right? So actually, let me wait. I'm going to do that when we talk about internal use. But for this one, you can know it's good for aromatic use. It actually says that on the side of the bottle. So Breathe, it is the respiratory blend. And if you've ever smelled this, it smells very similar to something like Vicks salve. It has a eucalyptusy smell to it, if that's a word, eucalyptusy. It's going to help open up your airways. It's going to help clear your lungs. It's a great thing to do to just open you up. So I love to use this when, my kids or myself have a little cough. I often put it in the diffuser. I will also put it on their chest. That's a great place to put it because they then get the aromatic benefits as well. It's also great for snoring because it opens up those airways. And so the way that I love to recommend using it for snoring is to put it on the bottom of your feet and make sure that you get the big toe, because the big toe is a sensory point for your nose and forehead. And so it's really going to help open up your nasal passages. So I love to use this one for lots of different things, but those are probably the top two. All right, let's talk about On Guard, because we talked about putting it in the diffuser. That's one way that you can use On Guard. There's lots of different ways though. This is probably the most used blend because it's just so versatile. So On Guard is called a protective blend, and it is really helps just fight against virus and bacteria and helps support our immune system. Preventatively, we can use it that way. We can use it every day preventatively on ourselves and on our kids. Or we can use it more so when we are feeling under the weather. We can use it more often then and help support our body through whatever it's going through. So this one is great for just thinking about just a clean environment. So it helps to clean our body, it can help to clean our home. So I love to make just simple cleaners with On Guard. You can just put On Guard with water and clean your hands. That's a great hand sanitizer. Oops, sorry, my phone's on vibrate. So it's a great hand sanitizer. You can also put it on surfaces in your home and clean that. It's a great way to keep your home clean naturally. And it actually is very effective against lots of virus and bacteria, and it has been studied in lots of things as well. So On Guard is an absolute must in my opinion. So let's talk about topical use. So topical use is just basically putting it on your skin. And the way that that works is when you put it on your skin, it's going to get absorbed and it's going to go in your bloodstream, like most things that we put on our skin do. So when we put it on and it gets absorbed, it can really affect every single cell in our body very quickly, within 30 seconds to a minute. And I know that sounds crazy, but yet our bodies know exactly what to do with these right when we put it on. It's the craziest, weirdest, best thing ever. So where to put it? Where do you put it topically? And I know that's a question that I get a lot. So the bottom of your feet is a really great just default place, I would say, because there's lots of pores on the bottom of your feet, and they're very large. So the oil gets absorbed very easily that way. So that's kind of a default place. Other places, it's just to put it where it hurts. So if you have a stomach ache, put it on your stomach. If you have a headache, put it on your head, your temples, maybe the back of your neck. Just depends on wherever you're kind of experiencing that. So just use your intuition with that. But I also did want to talk about safety, and we'll get to that in just a minute, kind of how you apply these and make sure that you do it safely. But first, we're going to talk about Deep Blue. So Deep Blue is the soothing blend, and this one can only be used topically. So it is going to be great for muscle pain and joint pain and just tense muscles. So it's great for somebody that has like arthritis, whether that's just can be more of a chronic issue or more of an acute issue. You're just going to put it where it hurts. Really simply, very easy to use. You're going to want to put it on sore muscles, like I said, just tense muscles. So I use it a lot on my my shoulders because I tend to hold all of my just tenseness right in my shoulders. I know sometimes women tend to do that. So I love to just put it with a tiny bit of lotion or coconut oil and rub it right here on my neck muscles and really try to give myself a mini massage, and it just helps so much. I love to also add Epsom salt baths. I love to take baths, and so this can really help to soothe your muscles in that way as well. So also another oil that's great to use topically and for lots of different things is Melaleuca. So Melaleuca is, I want to call it the natural Neosporin. It has lots of properties to it that are antifungal and antibacterial. So it's going to help just kind of clean. I would say that would be kind of an oil that you could associate with just cleaning as far as with those benefits that I mentioned. So it's great if you have a cut or a scrape or something like that. Melaleuca is going to be very gentle. You can use that with lavender. It's going to help calm as well. It's going to help disinfect and calm. So I love that duo to use. It's also got some great benefits for skin issues. So if you have like eczema, psoriasis, dandruff even, it's really going to be very helpful with those. And it's the #1 oil for ear infections and for ear pain. So that's going to be really great to use behind your ears and just really to help take away some of that discomfort. So I love Melaleuca. There's just a couple of ways that you can use them, so many more, but we're just scratching the surface here. Okay, let's talk about internal use. So I want to let you know how you can know which oils you can use internally and which ones that you cannot. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's this supplement facts box on each, it's not on each bottle, but it's on some bottles. So if you see a supplement facts box on the bottle, that means you can use it internally. And it's going to look very much like a cereal box. And so that's the way you're going to know if you can use it and ingest it that way. So just make sure you look at that, and it's going to give you directions on how to use it as well. So use that as your guide. So internal use, I want you to think of the 3 different ways to use oils and kind of why you would use each one, because some people get really confused about that. So as far as going from aromatic to topical to internal use, I really like to think about it as working on a deeper level. So if you use something aromatically, yes, for sure it's going to work great. Maybe your body might need more support. Maybe you go to topical use. I really like to use those a lot interchangeably and just together. And then internal use is something that I might turn to when my body needs, I can tell it needs more support. You know, maybe I'm coming down with something, or maybe I've used a few things, aromatic, topical, just not doing exactly what I want it to do. Maybe I'm going to turn to something that you use internally, because it's just going to work on a deeper level. You can just think about it like that. So you definitely only want to use doTERRA oils when you think about using them internally, because you would not want to put something in your body that maybe had contaminants in it that was not pure oil. So definitely only use doTERRA this way. And so a couple of different ways you can do this. You can take them internally. Let me get my veggie caps. You can use a simple mode of using a veggie capsule to take them internally. And so this is just an empty gel capsule. You might not can see it that great since I'm kind of small. But this just, it looks like a regular capsule. You can see on the screen actually. And you're gonna pop that apart. I can get it apart. And you're going to fill one part of it with essential oils and then pop the cap back on and take it just like you would a regular pill. And so at any given time, really with any of these modalities, you're only going to need 1 to 3 drops. So people want to know like how much to put in a veggie capsule. No more than 3, you know, between 1 and 3. It just depends on kind of what's going on. But you'll learn that as you go, and definitely you'll be in touch with whoever helps you get started, and you can ask those questions. But veggie capsules are great if you don't want to taste it. Some of these oils don't taste great, so you might not want to use them just under your tongue, like I mentioned doing with frankincense, but that's totally an option if you wanted to do that. Or you can just put them in water. I love to drink citrus oils in my water. They taste absolutely amazing. There's lots to choose from, and it just makes it taste great, yes, but it also gives you more internal, deeper cleansing benefits as well. That's great for like your digestive tract and your liver, and like more so different chronic issues that you could have would be a great reason to take oils internally. Okay, so let's talk about lemon, because I did mention putting citrus oils in your water. This is one of the ones that I first started out with that is awesome to put in your water. I just remember opening this bottle and just smelling the lemon, and oh my goodness, it smells absolutely amazing. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. I think I used my bottle in like a week. It was like one of the small ones. And so, so this is going to be one that is great to use internally, because it does help pull toxins out of your body. It's just a way that you can naturally detox. Excuse me. And so if you're using oils internally and in your water especially, you're going to want to make sure you use something that's stainless, like this little mug, or you can use a glass bottle or a stainless tumbler or whatever you want to use, but no plastic, no styrofoam. It's going to help pull those chemicals out in your water, which you really don't want, right? You're trying to decrease that. So make sure that you only use a glass or stainless steel container. And also a few other ways that you can use lemons. It's a great degreaser. So I love to use it in the kitchen. I just make a spray with lemon and water and a little bit of vinegar, and I can spray it on my oven or vent hood or wherever I'm having a little bit of grease action going on. It's really going to help cut through that. And there's lots of other things that lemon can do, but those are a few ways that I love to use it. Okay, let's talk about Slim and Sassy. This name kind of cracks me up, but I do love this blend. It's called the Metabolic Blend, and it has a great scent to it. And I'll tell you a funny story. So maybe if you're new to oils that you won't have to experience. I first got my little collection, and one of those included was Slim and Sassy. And so I was like, oh, I'd heard somebody say that they like to drink it in their water. And so I got a little bit of water, and I put 4 to 5 drops of Slim and Sassy in it. And it was the nastiest thing I'd ever tasted in my life. And I was like, I'm not using this oil again. This is gross. And I realized that you only need like 1 drop in like 8 or more ounces of water. And so I just put way too much. So if you do put these in your water, and this is one that is good in your water, just make sure you only put like 1 or 2 drops, and it's in like a larger container, because this one especially is a little bit stronger. And so you're only going to need 1 drop. So just a word to the wise. But this really helps to speed up your metabolism. It helps to suppress your appetite. The grapefruit in this is really going to help with sugar cravings. So I love it for that reason. Like, I usually like to put it in my water in the afternoon, because lots of times I would just want something sweet in the afternoon, and it may be more so at night. So this is great to just sip on during the afternoon to kind of, you didn't need that snack anyway, just forgo that, and it's going to help to balance your blood sugar with the cinnamon in it as well. And so this blend is excellent for if you just want to maintain a healthy weight. If you want to lose a few pounds, obviously that exercise is very, very important as well. So you're going to want to add this in with those 2 things. But it's a great way to support your body. And just getting back to balance, again, that is very something that we all want to do, and our body's always trying to do. So this just helps us with that. And also with the peppermint in here, it gives a great energy boost as well, which I find Slim and Sassy very useful for. Okay, just a few more. Next, we're going to talk about DigestZen. And DigestZen is a digestive blend. And this one's pretty straightforward. You can use it in all 3 ways. I don't know, I've never diffused this one, but you could if you wanted to. I find it very helpful used topically and internally. So this is going to really help with any kind of digestive issue that you have going on. So anything from constipation to diarrhea to nausea to vomiting, it's going to help your body come back to balance again. And I've got something stuck in my throat. Right, maybe that got it. So the ways that you can use this one, again, are topically and internally. And so I like to just put it with a few drops of coconut oil, and we're going to get to safety in a minute when we think of topical use. But just put it right over where it hurts, put it over your stomach. It really is so effective and works super fast because it's right there in the area. But I've also really enjoyed putting a drop under my tongue as well. Now, when you smell this blend, if you don't super love licorice, you might think, oh, how could you put a drop under your tongue? But it's interesting how this doesn't have a very strong flavor to me. And the fennel is actually very sweet. So I really enjoy the flavor of it. So a drop under your tongue, if you've eaten too much and you're just bloated, is excellent to use just as needed. Or if you have something that's more ongoing, you can totally use it every day, multiple times a day. So you can use it however it's going to best suit you and your needs. For heartburn, it mentioned on here, I love to take a little bit right here with a roller bottle or just on my finger and just rub it right here on your esophagus. And it really helps a lot with heartburn because it's getting right there to that area. And if you do struggle with chronic just digestive issues, you can put some of this in your water and just sip it. And you might think, oh, I would not want to do that. But the flavor, it's actually, if you only put 1 drop in a large amount of water, you can't taste it that much. And I've had somebody that's gotten off a good many of her medications with that, which I find is just so awesome. She weaned herself off, and now she just feels amazing without having to take that, which is such a blessing. And so if that's you, you might want to think about giving that a try. Okay, let's talk about oregano next. This is a powerhouse oil. It's very, very strong. So you're not going to want to use this topically unless you dilute it. And most often, you're probably going to want to use it internally. That's how I use it most often. So it's a natural antibiotic. So this is going to be something that is going to really help your body in fighting off whatever is going on. So I tend to use it when I don't feel well, or I've been around somebody that doesn't feel well and I'm trying to boost my immune system. This is one in particular that can really help if you do choose to take an antibiotic. If you are under the weather, this can actually help the antibiotic work twice as good. So that is the power of essential oils that can actually help medications work better. So I did mention, excuse me, wanting or needing to dilute it if you use it topically. But the only caveat to that is it can take off warts and skin tags. So if you want to do that, you wouldn't want to dilute it because you're going to want it to be really potent for that. So what I like to do in that case is to just take a Q-tip, get a little bit on the tip, and then just put it wherever you're wanting to take off the area. and make sure it doesn't get around any of the other skin because it's going to kind of burn it off. It's that potent. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that when you think about using oregano topically. Okay, so safety. Safety is very important when you think about essential oils because I mentioned that they were very potent, but yet they work with your body very well. But still, we need to know how to use them safely. And so I want you to think around less is more. The typical dose, like I said, is really 1 to 3 drops. So you're not going to need more than 3 drops at one time. And less more often is another way that you need to think about it because your body runs through these pretty quickly because they know exactly how to use it. And so you're going to want to use it more often throughout the day, especially if you're under the weather or you're trying to support your body through something that's more, of just it needs more support through that type of thing. If you were to get some of the hotter oils, such as oregano or cinnamon or clove on your skin, and you're kind of having a burning or itching type of situation going on, that just means it's too concentrated in that area. So you're going to want to put a carrier oil on top of that, which could be something like coconut oil or, excuse me, almond oil, even olive oil, because that's going to help disperse it. And when water is going to help drive it in. So you're not going to want to put water on that situation. So using a carrier oil with essential oils is a great thing to do because it helps to disperse it. And it also helps for it to get absorbed better on your skin as well. So that's another reason why I love to use a carrier oil. So let's talk really quickly about supplements. And these supplements are actually my favorite product that doTERRA has, even above essential oils. And I know that this is an essential oil company, but I feel that supplements, and this one in particular, is actually the foundation of our health. And they help the oils work better. They help everything in our life work a little bit better as far as our body functions. And so really quickly, the reason why these are different is because they're made in a different way. They're made in a way that's called bioavailable. That means our body can use it up right then. And so the different ingredients in here are packaged and they're processed in a way that our body's going to recognize them and use them up. So that's why you can tell if you haven't taken your supplements by about 2 p.m. because you're going to have less focus, less energy, all of the things. So 3 different parts of this supplement pack. This is called a Lifelong Vitality Pack. There's the Microplex VMZ, that's your vitamins and minerals and your 12 servings of fruits and vegetables that none of us really get. This is going to help fill in those gaps. The E-Omega is the essential fatty acids, and this especially is really important for women because women tend to need lots of fats for our body to function properly, especially when you think about hormones, because the building blocks of hormones are fats, and our brain runs off of fats. And so you can see why I'm sorry, you guys. I've got something in my throat that will not go away. And so, what do you think, y'all? Wow. Okay. Maybe I'm good now. Sorry. So when you think about a low-fat diet and how bad that was for us, and we're just now figuring that out, you can see why omegas are very important for our overall health. So this is going to give you the dose that you need. It's going to help your brain work better. It's going to help your body function better as well. So lastly, Alpha CRS is going to be the cellular vitality complex of this supplement pack. And it's great for energy. It's great for cellular health overall. It's going to help repair your cells. It's going to be a great thing to age well, really, to be honest. And this is what's going to give you the energy that you can experience from this pack. So just wanted to mention that because I feel like the two together, essential oils and the supplements, are like they're the dynamic duo. But I feel like you need both, right? You can't just look at it as one or the other. They really work better together when used. They work better together when used together. Yes. Okay, so lastly, I want to give you some resources and just some directions for how to best incorporate these into your lifestyle. So we need resources, right? I'm not the expert. The book is the expert. So you're going to get some great resources if you haven't gotten started yet with doTERRA. That's going to give you some great overall things about all of the different oils. But yeah, I feel that you also need a great resource book that's going to give you a place to go if you want to look up different ailments and different just things that come up in your everyday life. Modern Essentials is great. I've put that up here. The Essential Life book is really great as well. Those two are excellent. There's a podcast that doTERRA has that's great as well if you want to look that up, and there's different apps that are good as well. And so Aroma Tools is also one that I mentioned, and it is a great place to go if you want to get different accessories for your oily lifestyle. So you can get different bottles and diffusers even, and different cases. So lots of great things over there. And I'm actually going to stop the share and let's see. Well, I don't know why I'm not the main view, but anyway, I just wanted to kind of go through a few things on how you get started. Spotlight, there. Okay, so thank you for joining me for that information. And if you haven't yet gotten started in this lifestyle, I just wanted to give you a few different ways that you can incorporate this and why you would want to. Because the thing is, if we have the information and don't have the tools, there's not much we can do with that, to be honest. We can know we want to take care of our body better, and we can know that there's all these different tools that we could have, but yet we don't have them to use. And so that's why I want to encourage you. If you have not yet brought these into your home and really incorporated them, maybe you're watching this and you have some, but you just haven't incorporated them yet. I want to encourage you to get them out, put them around your house, and simply use them. Get you a great resource book and think every time something comes up, what can I look up for that? There's an oil for that. How can I use natural things instead of just turning to what I usually do, right? That's how we change our habits. And so I want to encourage you to pull out your oils if you already have them. But if you don't have them in your life, please connect with whoever invited you to this class, because that's going to be really key component. You need somebody to help you through this journey. You truly need somebody to be your guide. That's what we're here for as wellness advocates. So whoever added you to this, gave you this link to watch this video, please go back with them and discuss what might be best for you to get started with. There's lots of different collections that you can start with. There's even different, single oils. If you just want to start small, just start somewhere. It's what I really want to encourage you with, and to just dive in wherever you feel is the best place to start for you. And just with speaking about working with somebody, you work with somebody through a wholesale membership. And that is such a small investment in your health for what you get for it. It's $35 a year. Not only can you purchase the products and oils at a 25% discount, which is going to be the wholesale price, you get to work with somebody that's going to help you know exactly how to use these. You're going to get added to a great community that's going to help you with incorporating these into your life. It's so, I just remember when I was first added to this amazing group, I was like, I have hit the jackpot. This is what I've been looking for for like years. It was amazing. And so I just want to encourage you with that. That is what is a part of the membership and working with a wellness advocate. You need that. That's why this model is set up. That's why doTERRA has us as wellness advocates, is to help you walk through that journey. So I would encourage you to get back with whoever added you to this. See what would be best for you to get started with. And I'm really excited for you all to get started on this journey, or to just pick up where you left off and really just upgrade. Take the upgrade every day with essential oil. So thank you for joining me today. And I've just enjoyed being with you. And please share this with anybody that you think would like to learn more about essential oils. And I think, as all wellness advocates would say, we're just here to help. So I will see you guys later. Thanks for joining me. Bye, everyone.